Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to do the Game Week 14 preview for FPL in season 23-24. I guess not a great deal of talking points in terms of potential trade-ins. One interesting one that's cropped up this week is with Allison out for the next 2-3 games potentially. With a muscle injury, and you can see it's quite a good run with Fulham, Sheffield, Crystal Palace. The potential to bring in his backup Kelleher. Got Liverpool, so at 3.9, to have a starting goalkeeper in a top 4 team, could be something useful. Because I'm guessing Allison played out the game at 90 minutes. A few people saying maybe Adrian would get the start, but I'm pretty sure he's number 3 on the totem pole. Kelleher's the young up and comer, the backup, plays a lot of the cup games and stuff. So, he is a potential, but particularly if you've got like the Areola Turner combo, it's only going to make you 0.3 mil, which doesn't really do a lot for you in terms of budget. And if we have a look at the cheap options and their fixtures, so for Areola, playing Crystal Palace, Tottenham, admittedly is a tough one, and then Fulham. So, a couple of good ones in the next 3. And then Matt Turner. So he's got Everton, Fulham, and Wolves. So that week where Areola plays Spurs, Turner can cover. And Turner might even get the gig this week against Everton. I forgot which way I decided in the round 13 review video, but it's probably going to stay the same, to be honest. So I think if you've got these two, it's not really a viable option to trade him in for 3 games, only to then have to trade him back out. That's 2 free transfers, and they're pretty valuable. So some other options just quickly across the other lines in defence. Nothing really stands out. Romero should be back after this game. So a good one to miss, I suppose, for Romero with Tottenham, but one to keep an eye on for next week with West Ham. Newcastle's a tricky one, but they are at home, which is nice. And then, a nice run into Christmas. So, if you're looking to get back into the Spurs defense, that might be a nice option. So again, nothing really stands out as we go down the list. Midfielders, not too sure what's going on there. Madison's still out. Neto's starting to a 50% chance. Again, nothing really too big there. I know a lot of people looking at Burmo with his fixtures now opening up nicely after Liverpool Arsenal back to back. So I know he's a popular trade-in option, but we've already got him. I think Palmer, is going up in price, which is nice to see as an owner. Again, nice run of fixtures. I'm pretty sure Newcastle's fixture is pretty good too. Aside from maybe Spurs, not the stiffest defence though. So you can still get on the Newcastle assets. And in the forwards, I think there's even less. Watkins under a bit of an injury cloud. 75% you'd assume he's going to play, but he does have that tough run coming up. So you might hold this week against Bournemouth, and then a good time to get out with some tough fixtures coming up in the next 3 or 4 or 5 there. So I guess Isak, I know we talked about last week. He'd come back and scored a goal against Chelsea, and as we said, Newcastle's run is pretty nice for the next half a dozen. So I guess he's going to be a prime target for Watkins owners next week, perhaps. Or if you can afford maybe upping from Alvarez. But I think for now, I'm going to keep the faith with the team. So if we go to the team picker, so I did go with Turner playing at home to Everton. Yeah, Ariel against Crystal Palace at home. So I think that's a toss of a coin. Um, yeah, just go with Turner, just gut feel. That's purely what it's based on. Simicast, Trippier, Gabriel all at home, so they're solid back three. Matty Cash can be the emergency option on the bench. And then the front seven, we've left Alvarez out against Spurs. Although, their defence still isn't fully reset. There is an argument, out of the eight that maybe we bench Son and play Alvarez. Um, but I'm not that brave. Got to back the guy who's worth the most money, I think, out of the two. But Burma against Luton, Palmer against Brighton. Both good chances. Good against Man United too. We like that fixture, so you know, comfortable playing these cheaper options. But then, ironically, the next cheaper option we're not so keen on. But yeah, that's fine. He's first off in case anyone misses, and I think Salah against Fulham is the option. Obviously, Haaland can score against Spurs, so happy to run it this way. I guess other potential captaincy options if we just go back to transfers. Saka perhaps against Wolves. So if you own him or any of the other sort of Arsenal assets, might be worth a sneaky punt. Just looking at the other high scorers. Yeah, so Watkins against Bournemouth potentially. What's Bowen's got against Crystal Palace, but he's under an injury cloud, so maybe not. I mean, if you've got a solid VC, you could always go the flyer on Bowen. And if he misses, you don't miss out. Yeah, Burma against Luton, always a good chance of a goal. Um, the Villa assets we've talked about um, have a good matchup this week, but probably wouldn't captain. Sterling perhaps against Brighton. That's a really sneaky pod move there. And Fernandes, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce it. It's a bit weird when you look at it in English, but against Newcastle, so probably not the Man United guys. Yeah, so happy to leave it with Salah for this week. BC Haaland. So yeah, we'll try to shorten the video up. I'll probably stretch it out too long as it is. So as always, if you've got any comments or thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. If you enjoy the FPL content, remember give the videos a like. Subscribe to the channel for all the fantasy content. I think we're pushing towards 140 subscribers now, which is massive. And thanks to each and every one of you who have signed on, and to those who will sign on in the future potentially and hopefully. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.